Hey Charger Engineer, as you begin the process of course planning for your first semester at UAH, your math placement determines a pretty big chunk of your fall schedule. In this video, you will learn more about the math courses that engineering students will take and the order in which you will take those courses, and how UAH determines your math placement and the math course you will register for your first semester. You should have already watched the Basecamp review video at the start of this module. Remember, your math placement is important and affects many of the other courses you will take your first year. So you might be wondering, what math courses do engineering students need to complete? All engineering students are required to take the Calculus series, which consists of MA 171 or 171S, Calculus A, MA 172, Calculus B, and MA 201, Calculus C. These courses are 4 credit hours each. Your placement determines whether you will start in MA 171 or 171S or higher, or start in a pre-calculus class. Pre-calculus classes do not satisfy degree requirements. After completing the Calculus series, most engineering majors require the Advanced Math series of MA 238, Differential Equations, and MA 244, Linear Algebra, with some exceptions. Cybersecurity engineering only requires linear algebra, while chemical engineering only requires differential equations. Most engineering students will finish all the required math courses by the end of their sophomore year. So how is your math placement determined? There are 3 factors that affect your placement: your ACT or SAT math subscores, AP or IB test scores, and credit from a dual enrollment program. This table shows all the possible math placement levels determined by ACT and SAT math subscores, from a level quadruple 0, pre-calculus with algebra, to a level 3000, MA 171, Calculus A. If we consider the level 3000 placement, a student needs a minimum ACT math subscore of 28, or a minimum SAT math subscore of 640. Note that you cannot place higher than Math 171, Calculus A, via these test scores. To place into a math course above Calculus A, a student will need AP, IB, or dual enrollment credit. If you are taking or have taken AP Calculus, you will need the following scores to earn credit and place into higher math courses. For the Calculus AB exam, score of 3, and you will receive credit for Calculus A and be placed into Calculus B for your first semester. If you take the Calculus BC exam and earn a score of 3, you'll receive credit for Calculus A and be placed into Calculus B for your first semester. If, however, you earn a 4 or a 5 on the BC exam, you will receive credit for Calculus A and B and be placed into Calculus C for your first semester. Please note that UAH does not accept AP subscores. You can also earn credit for Calculus A and Calculus B through the IB program. If you score a 5 or 6, you will receive credit for Calculus A and be placed into Calculus B for your first semester. If you earn a 7, you'll receive credit for Calculus A and B and be placed into Calculus C for your first. If you are or were enrolled in college courses through a dual enrollment program, you may earn credit for pre-calculus and calculus classes and be placed into a higher level math course for your first semester. Students must earn a C- or better in those courses in order to receive credit and move on to a higher level course. For example, if a student takes pre-calculus with trigonometry, that course is called MA 113 at UAH, via dual enrollment, then that student would be placed into Calculus A for their first semester. What happens if you don't have any of these scores? If you don't have ACT or SAT math subscores or any other credit, don't worry. You will take the UAH math placement test to determine your placement. Full instructions math placement test will be on a page in this module. The test is done online, it's free, and you have 2 attempts. The math placement test can only place you as high as MA 171, Calculus A. If you are placed below Math 171 or 171S, you can take the UAH Math Placement Test. We actually encourage you to do this. You cannot be penalized for taking the Math Placement Test. For example, if you are currently placed in MA 171S by ACT Math Subscore and you score lower on the UAH Math Placement Test, you can't be moved down. The scores needed for the 4 levels of math placement on the UAH Math Placement Test. Some notes on math placement. Level 3000 math placement. Even if you have or will receive credit for Calculus A or higher, you will still be listed as level 3000 for placement purposes. Everyone's a little different, so go to the frequently asked questions about math and English placement in this module to find your answers to questions you might have about your placement, especially if you're planning to receive credit for Calculus A or higher through AP, IB, or dual enrollment. Thanks for watching.